You're listening to a story on a channel where your intelligence is respected. Enjoy! I'm the infamous rich girl with the worst temper on campus, and my one guilty pleasure is paying classmates to run errands for me. It sounds cruel, right? But honestly, it's kind of fun. And here's the thing nobody expects. The people I boss around don't hate me. They love me. Because I don't order them. For free I pay, and I pay a lot. So when a brand new transfer student saw me throwing money around like it was confetti, she did what righteous people always do when they spot something they don't understand. She filmed it, posted it online, and tried to turn me into the villain. It worked at first. The internet tore me apart. They called me a spoiled parasite, a bully, a walking symbol of everything wrong with the world. But then my classmates did something no one saw coming. They raised their keyboards like swords and fought for me. Touch our sugar mama and see what happens. Mind your business. We like working for her. Want shade? Want money? Want tuition? Then shut up. And the comment section flipped. Strangers flooded my page like it was a job. Fair. Please, I'm begging, let me be your underling. Hire me. I can run. I can carry. I can breathe. That was the beginning. And the day the transfer student officially joined our class was the day everything exploded. That afternoon, we had a friendly basketball game against the class next door. The sun was brutal, the kind that makes the air feel like it's pressing on your skin. Everyone was drenched in sweat, tense, screaming at the court. Everyone, except me. I was sitting under the only patch of shade on the whole sideline, legs crossed like I own the planet. Wearing oversized sunglasses, eating an ice cream bar with one hand, and holding a little handheld fan with the other. Within a 10-foot radius, nobody stood near me. Not because they were scared. Because I paid them not to. I had 3 girls stationed around me like a royal guard, one holding a parasol over my head, one fanning me, and one hugging a cooler full of iced drinks like her life depended on it. Right then, the transfer student appeared. Backpack on. Chin up. Eyes blazing with moral outrage. She shoved through the crowd and pointed at me like she'd just discovered a crime. Hey, she said, loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. Did you seriously buy up the entire shade area? I tilted my head, glanced at her over the top of my sunglasses, and smiled, calm, amused. Almost delighted. Yeah, I said. I Venmo'd everyone around here a couple $100 to move. It's way too hot. I don't do heat. I took another bite of my ice cream and smiled like I was advertising happiness. Whoever said money can't buy joy has never bought comfort. Our university's court is cramped. Each class gets a section, and by pure luck, our section had the only tree with real shade. So I didn't hesitate. I bought it. I looked the transfer student up and down, and something clicked. Oh, she must be the new girl our advisor mentioned. Well, I said, casual. If you're in our class, then technically this shade is yours too. Give me your QR code. I'll send you 200. Instead of pulling out her phone, she made a face like she'd smelled spoiled milk. For your personal comfort, she snapped, you forced everyone else to stand in the sun. You're like those evil rich girls in novels, using money to crush people. This is unfair. It's blatant injustice. The phrase blatant injustice hit so hard I almost choked on my ice cream. I coughed once, then laughed, actually laughed, like I couldn't believe someone said that with a straight face. I put my phone away. No transfer, I said. Forget it. Then I turned to the 3 girls around me. Am I bullying you? All 3 shook their heads so fast their ponytails whipped. The girl holding the parasol even teared up like I'd accused her of betrayal. Of course not, she said, voice trembling. You're helping us. My family's broke. I'm behind on tuition. You hiring me is the only reason I'm still here. You pay $200 a day just for the umbrella job, and the fan job is like $100 an hour. I don't even have to ask my parents for living expenses anymore. The other 2 nodded like they were about to start a worship circle. That's where the nickname started. They call me the heiress. And honestly, it's kind of cute. So I never corrected anyone. I looked back at the transfer student, Lifted my chin slightly. See? I said. They're not being bullied. They're grateful. Her cheeks went red, rage red. Not embarrassment red. My monthly living budget is barely $1,000, she hissed. And you pay that much just to be fanned for an hour? You. Her voice shook like she was about to cry. The university won't let someone like you do whatever you want forever. Then she spun on her heel and marched away like she'd just delivered justice. I watched her go, eyebrow raised. Moral performance is exhausting. Why do it? She wasn't angry because I hurt anyone. She was angry because I had the kind of money she didn't, and I used it without shame. I didn't feel like arguing, but I did glance at my classmates melting in the sun, sweating through their shirts, muttering complaints. And I thought, yeah, 200 each was kind of low for this kind of heat. So I finished my ice cream, pulled out my phone, and with one lazy tap, I dropped $5,000 into our class group chat. There were 30-something students. Do the math. A few seconds later, the sideline erupted. I love the heiress. Like a wave, the cheering rolled across the court. Even the guys playing stopped and turned around, confused, like, what team has fans that loud? Students from the other class stared in open envy. I should transfer into their class, someone muttered. I'd let her bully me any day. Meanwhile, the transfer student, still not added to our group chat, stood off to the side, listening. Her face went dark. She looked like she'd swallowed a whole lemon. The next morning, in homeroom, she walked in behind our class advisor, Ms. Hart. The transfer student stood by the door, arms crossed, mouth curled into a smug little smile, like she'd bought tickets to my downfall. Ms. Hart set her bag down, scanned the room, and spoke with that sharp authority teachers use when they think they're about to win. I've received reports, she said, that someone in this class has been paying other students to serve them. Are you here to learn? Or to be treated like royalty? I won't name names. Whoever it is, you know who you are. Fix your behavior. The transfer student, let's call her Sophie Lane, stepped forward like a prosecutor. Yes, Sophie said, loudly. If I hadn't told Ms. Hart, she'd still be in the dark. One rotten apple ruins the whole barrel. This kind of corruption destroys the learning environment. I watched the two of them perform their little duet from the front of the room and smiled. I've hated one kind of teacher since childhood, the kind who says someone when they mean you. They want you to feel accused but powerless. They want the room to turn on you while they keep their hands clean. So I stood up. Bright smile. Calm voice. Ms. Hart, I said. Just say my name. It'll save time. Her expression hardened instantly. Madison King, she snapped. I was going to give you a chance to correct yourself. But you're shameless. You admit it? I shrugged like she'd asked what I had for breakfast. I didn't admit anything. I stood up to tell you, you're absolutely right. Then I tilted my head, sweet as sugar. Paying for services is a terrible crime. I pay voluntarily. My classmates accept voluntarily. It's a fair exchange. But if you don't approve, sure, ban it. Ms. Hart's face went green with anger. Don't get smart. With me, you will write a self-reflection. 2,000 words. I kept smiling. No problem. Then I added, lightly. But before I do, I have one question. If what I paid them is dirty money, then shouldn't the students who accepted it return it? The room froze. At first, everyone had been watching like it was entertainment. Me versus Ms. Hart, a fun little showdown. Now the mood shifted. I could see it in their eyes. They weren't watching anymore. They were calculating. And one voice snapped out first, angry and loud. Why the hell would I return it? I bought her water because I wanted to. What's that got to do with you? Another. And you, someone pointed at Sophie, we hate snitches. The heiress likes throwing money at us, mind your business. A skinny guy stood up, hands shaking with rage. I applied for a low-income scholarship, he said, staring at Ms. Hart. You denied me without even looking. And Sophie? She shows up with an iPhone and pretends she's broke. You know it. Everyone knows it. A girl next to him wiped her eyes. If Madison didn't tip me sometimes, I'd have dropped out. More and more voices joined, louder, sharper, like a wall closing in. I made honor roll because I didn't have to work 2 jobs because of her. She didn't buy our dignity. She bought our time. Back. Sophie's face went pale. Her plan was collapsing in real time. She tried to argue. I'm trying to restore your backbone as college students. That only made everyone angrier. You want backbone? Then give us your money. Go be noble somewhere else. Miss Hart slammed her hand on the desk so hard the whole room jumped. Enough. You want to talk back? You want to lose leadership roles? You want to fail your conduct credits and not graduate? The room went silent because she'd pulled out the real weapon. Not morality. Power. Students stared at their desks afraid. Lose Madison's money or lose Miss Hart's approval. And right then, I laughed. Not warm. Not amused. Cold. I stood up slowly and said softly, Ms. Hart, do you really want this job? Her eyes narrowed. What did you say? I looked her dead in the face. You didn't come after me because Sophie reported me. You came after me because my family has money and I haven't paid you a dime. The air turned thick. Even the ceiling fan sounded loud. Miss Hart forced a scoff, but her voice wavered. Accusations require evidence. Is that how your parents raised you? She brought my parents into it. That was the wrong move. My smile disappeared completely. And I did what I do best when someone crosses a line. I hit back, clean and direct. Evidence. I said. Fine. Every semester, we pay a class fund fee, $100 each. Show us the public spending record. You've never posted one. Because you pocketed it. Gasps burst around the room. I didn't stop. And you take gifts from parents. Leadership positions get assigned based on who pays you. You think we don't know? The class erupted. So that's why our fees are higher than other classes. No wonder she always pushes certain people into positions. Miss Hart turned chalk white. She stammered. Other teachers do it too. The second she said it, her eyes widened. She'd admitted it. Too late. After homeroom, our entire class stormed the administration building and filed reports. Students called their parents. Parents compared notes. One by one, they realized Miss Hart had been hinting for gifts for years. Within weeks, she was removed. A younger advisor replaced her. And Sophie Lane? The girl who started it all? She got quietly blacklisted by our entire class. No one sat with her. No one talked to her. No one even looked at her. She blamed me for everything. She told anyone who would listen that I bought the class, that I framed Miss Hart, that I forced people to side with me. And I wrapped my mind around one simple truth. Sophie didn't hate me because I was cruel. Sophie hated me because the world wasn't fair to her, and she thought I was the person to punish for it. I thought that was the end of it. Ms. Hart was gone. The class went back to normal. And Sophie Lane? She might as well have been invisible. She sat alone, ate alone, walked the halls like a ghost no one acknowledged. If things had stopped there, maybe this story would have ended quietly. But Sophie didn't want quiet. She wanted revenge. She couldn't beat me in real life, so she did what desperate people always do. She went online. A few weeks after Miss Hart was removed, I woke up to my phone vibrating nonstop. Notifications stacked on top of each other like a glitch. Mentions. DMs. Tags. Hate. At first, I thought it was spam. Then I clicked one link. It was a video. Sophie Lane sat in front of her webcam. No makeup, hair messy, eyes red and watery. She held up her student ID to the camera like proof. I didn't want to talk about this, she said, voice shaking. But too many people asked me what happened, so I'll say it. She took a deep breath. I was bullied in college. By a girl named Madison King. There it was. My name. She continued, tears rolling perfectly down her cheeks. She's extremely rich. She used money to control our entire class. She paid students to serve her, to isolate me, to turn everyone against me. She sniffed. When I reported it to our advisor, even the teacher was forced out. I couldn't handle the pressure anymore. I had to leave school. She bowed her head like a martyr. I'm not saying this for sympathy. I just hope this kind of injustice doesn't happen to anyone else. The comments exploded. Thousands. Then tens of thousands. People didn't care about facts. They cared about a narrative. And Sophie gave them a perfect one. Rich girl. Poor transfer student. Power imbalance. Tears. The internet ate it up. I scrolled. Disgusting. Money really does buy everything. She should be expelled. I hate rich kids like this. Somebody dug up my Instagram. Screenshots of me. Tipping classmates. Clips of me sitting under shade, sunglasses on. Out of context, it looked awful. For the first time, I understood something clearly. Sophie wasn't stupid. She learned. She didn't name the school. Didn't show faces. Didn't lie directly. She let the internet do the rest. My roommate, Lucy, slammed her phone on the desk. She's lying through her teeth. Lucy snapped. People are demanding you death threats. I looked at the screen calmly. Let them, I said. Lucy stared at me. You're not mad. I am, I said. But I'm not panicking. I leaned back in my chair. Because Sophie made one mistake. Lucy frowned. What? She forgot one thing, I said softly. I'm not just rich. Lucy swallowed. My family owns media companies, I continued. A third of the entertainment industry has our fingerprints on it. And we're very good at one thing. Lucy blinked. What? Controlling narratives. I called my dad. That night, he answered immediately. Madison, he said, voice sharp with worry. I saw the video. I explained everything. Slowly. Clearly. There was silence on the other end. Then he exhaled. My baby, he said. You were wronged. I know, I replied. I want to sue her. For defamation. You will, he said instantly. I'll have legal prepare everything. I nodded. Even though he couldn't see me. But don't rush, I added. Give me 2 days. 2 days, he asked. Yes, I said. I want the truth to surface on its own first. My dad paused. Then he laughed quietly. That's my daughter. The next morning, Sophie's video hit 100,000 comments. Hate toward me reached its peak. And then, a single comment appeared. The heiress, your servant arrived late. Please forgive me. People were confused. Someone replied, what the hell is this? Another commented, inside joke. Then another account commented, that story isn't true. Then another. And another. All from students at my university. Real accounts. Real names. Real photos. She paid me to hold an umbrella. $200 a day. That money paid my tuition. I bought groceries with her tips. She never forced anyone. One comment stood out. If that's bullying, please bully me too. The internet hesitated. Then curiosity kicked in. More students spoke up. Screenshots of Venmo transfers. Group chat receipts. Messages thanking me. Someone posted. Our advisor wasn't fired because of Madison. She was fired for taking bribes. That comment went viral. Within hours, YouTube drama channels picked it up. TikTok stitched Sophie's crying video with student testimonies. The tone shifted. Fast. Wait, so the victim lied? She got scammed by a guy later too? Isn't that the same girl? Yes. That part came next. People started digging into Sophie. Her sudden luxury posts. Designer bags. A white Porsche. Then screenshots surfaced. A guy named Jack. Foreign accent. Finance major abroad. Royal bloodline. Someone recognized him. No way. That guy's a known romance scammer. Another user commented. His real name is Jason Wright. He's never left the country. The internet exploded again. This time at Sophie. She lied. She scammed donations. She framed someone else. My phone buzzed. Lucy stared at it. You're trending, she whispered. I opened the app. Top search. Madison King campus scandal. Truth revealed. I watched Sophie's follower count plummet. In real time. Her comments turned vicious. She turned them off. Then she deleted her account. But it was too late. My dad's legal team moved fast. Defamation. Fraud. False fundraising. A few weeks later, Sophie Lane was charged. The day she was taken away, I thought it was over. But it wasn't. Because something unexpected happened. People started following me. A lot. 1 million followers in weeks. The platform reached out. They asked if I wanted to live stream. Educational content, they said. Legal awareness. I agreed. On my first live stream, over 200,000 people joined. I sat there with lawyers, calmly explaining how to protect yourself from false accusations. The chat? Completely unhinged. Heiress. Queen. Step on me with money. I asked them to stop spamming. They misunderstood. Gifts flooded the screen. Fireworks. Roses. Cash. Lucy screamed. You have to thank them better. I awkwardly thanked people for apples. And watermelons. The chat went silent. Then someone typed. She's disappointed. Send more. The gifts doubled. After the stream, I stared at the earnings. I blinked. Then blinked again. That's more than my monthly allowance, I said. Lucy collapsed onto the bed. You accidentally became an internet celebrity. My dad called that night. Are you making more than me now? I smiled. Maybe. He sighed. Looks like I need to work harder. I leaned back, looking at the city lights outside my window. I never wanted power. I never wanted fame. I just wanted shade and peace. But somehow, by paying people fairly in a world that expects exploitation, I bought something much bigger. And this time, I didn't even mean to. I thought the internet would forget. It always does. One scandal replaces another. One villain gets swapped for the next. But Sophie Lane didn't just lose relevance. She lost control. After her account disappeared, people assumed she'd gone quiet out of shame. They were wrong. She was panicking. Because deleting a profile doesn't delete evidence. Screenshots don't disappear. Bank transfers don't vanish. And lies don't stop echoing just because you stop speaking. A week after her account went dark, my lawyer called me. Madison, he said calmly, we've confirmed it. She accepted donations under false pretenses. I wasn't surprised. She claimed the money was for tuition, he continued. But records show she used it to pay off private debt. High-interest loans. I closed my eyes for a second. So that was it. The fake boyfriend. The luxury photos. The sudden confidence. It was all borrowed. Leased. Or owed. Sophie didn't just lie because she wanted sympathy. She lied because she needed money. And when the scammer vanished with her savings, she replaced him with the internet. The difference? The internet doesn't disappear quietly. 2 days later, the charges became public. Fraud. Defamation. False fundraising. She was officially summoned. When the news broke, people didn't cheer. They dissected. She really thought crying would save her. So she tried to ruin someone else's life to fix her own. This is why weaponized victimhood is dangerous. I read everything. And for the first time, I didn't feel angry. I felt tired. Lucy noticed. You. Okay, she asked. I nodded slowly. I just realized something. What? Sophie never hated me, I said. She hated what I represented. Lucy waited. She hated that I didn't apologize for having money. That I didn't pretend to suffer just to make her feel better. That I didn't kneel. Lucy exhaled. Yeah, she said. That'll do it. The trial didn't take long. The evidence was overwhelming. Student testimonies. Payment records. Her own words, contradicting each other across platforms. The judge didn't care about her tears. Because tears don't erase numbers. When the verdict came down, I wasn't in the courtroom. I was in my dorm room, live streaming. Someone in chat typed, "She's been sentenced." I paused. Scrolled. 3 years. Suspended sentence. Probation. Mandatory repayment. She wouldn't go to prison. But she would carry the label. Fraudster. Defamer. Scammer. Online and offline. Lucy looked at me. Do you feel bad? I thought about it. About the girl who stood in the sun, yelling about fairness. About the girl who cried into a camera, calling me a monster. About the girl who begged me for money, then cursed me when I refused. No, I said finally. I feel done. And I meant it. That night, I ended my live stream early. I didn't feel like performing. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a message request. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. But something told me not to. Sophie Lane. You won. Are you happy now? I stared at the screen. For a long time. Then I typed back. Madison King. I didn't win. I just didn't lose myself trying to save you. 3 dots appeared. Then vanished. No reply came after that. And somehow I knew. That was the last time Sophie Lane would ever speak to me. Life moved on. My channel grew. Not because I cried. Not because I begged. Not because I pretended to be small. But because I stayed calm in a world addicted to outrage. People started calling me the heiress, unironically. They sent messages like, I learned how to protect myself legally because of you. I stopped apologizing for my background. You taught me that generosity isn't weakness. I never asked for that role. But I accepted it. Because power, when acknowledged, becomes responsibility. And money? Money is just a tool. It can silence people. Or it can protect them. It can be used to control. Or it can be used to compensate. The difference is consent. The difference is honesty. The difference is whether you're brave enough to say, this is who I am. I won't shrink for your comfort. Sometimes I still sit under shade on hot days. I still tip well. I still pay fairly. I still don't apologize. And every now and then, someone online comments, must be nice being rich. I smile. And I reply, it is. Yendi.